So remember Rochelle from Seinfeld?
Rochelle.
It was the fake movie that was a running joke in the series, and every time they mentioned it, they'd say,
A young girl's strange erotic journey.
Journey
From Milan to Minsk.
from Milan to Minsk?
Yeah.
Now I love Seinfeld. Hell, the banner of my YouTube channel is a ripoff of their logo. So I'm traveling from Milan to Minsk and having a strange erotic journey of my own. This is Milan to Minsk, a Seinfeld travel show. Well, boys and girls, we have arrived in Minsk, Belarus, and completed Rochelle's strange erotic journey from Milan to Minsk. Now, before I began this trip, I didn't know a thing about Minsk or Belarus, so here's a quick primer. Most of Minsk was destroyed during World War II, and it was rebuilt by the Soviet Union afterwards. And it shows. From the pictures I've seen, it's the most Soviet-looking place of anything I've ever seen. Lots of just plain, boxy buildings, you know? It's the kind of city an architect could have a field day with. Or, you know, someone pretending to be an architect.
No, I always wanted to pretend that I was an architect.
So let's embrace George Costanza's favorite fake profession and check out the architecture of Minsk. Besides, Belarus is landlocked, so pretending to be a marine biologist is kind of out of the question. So it hasn't taken me very long to realize that I may have been mistaken about the old Soviet architecture being plain and boxy. I mean, there's some of that, of course, but most of the stuff that was built after World War II is actually very ornate and beautiful. I mean, there are parts of the city where you'd think you were walking around Paris or something. Oh yeah, finally started snowing. Wouldn't be winter in Belarus without a little snow, right? This is the party street. It's pretty empty right now. I might have to come back here later, see what it's doing. This is Communist Street, and appropriately there are hammers and sickles all over the gates over here. There's actually a bunch of hammer and sickles in town. I've seen a few of them everywhere, along with statues of Lenin, of course. And this is the building where apparently communism started, and it's right across the street from where Lee Harvey Oswald lived. Interesting. Okay, let's talk about the science here. It's the Cyrillic alphabet, so it's obviously unfamiliar to us, but there are spots where it looks kind of familiar. Take this domino sign. Like, it's different, but you still kind of get it? Or maybe I'm just recognizing the logo. You know, Minsk might be the complete opposite of what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be kind of drab and maybe a little depressing, but it's not that way at all. Like, at all. Even in the dead of winter. But that's what's great about travel. Sometimes you're really looking forward to a place, then find it kind of underwhelming. Then other times you have no expectations and it completely blows you away. Minsk has blown me away. Okay, so even though Minsk is nothing like I was expecting and is actually pretty awesome, it does have the weirdest building I've ever seen in my entire life. This is a Soviet sculpture with a KFC beneath it. Like, I can't even process this building in my head. Like, what do I even do with this? Okay, so there's one other thing that I had to do while I was here in Minsk, and that's come to the Stalin Line, which is like a recreation of a World War II battlefield. I'm in one of the trenches right now. There's also an area where you can actually fire guns, including machine guns and anti-aircraft guns. So you're walking around and just all of a sudden you just hear gunfire going off in the distance. Jesus Christ. Whoa. It is bitingly cold right now, but hey, it's winter in the Eastern Bloc, baby. Holy hell, they're riding the tank. You can ride the tank if you want. I looked into it, it's actually really expensive, so I'm not doing it. They also got this spot where everyone's allowed to raise the flag of their own country, so they brought me out a US flag so I can raise it on the pole. Now, I actually did fire the gun. Whoa, boy. I actually did fire the gun, but the guy I asked to use the camera for me, he hit stop instead of start, and so he didn't record it, but I did fire it, just for the record. Anyway, I think it's time to call it here. Our strange erotic journey has come to an end, and I think there's only one thing left to do now. What a strange erotic journey it's been.